President Donald Trump held his first official cabinet meeting of his second term. Elon Musk joined in his dark MAGA outfit. I mean, can we just put up this frame here? Standing. Do you think this was like a specific choice that all the other cabinet members, some of them who haven't been confirmed but are just sitting there anyway, by the way, they're not confirmed yet. Elon's, I feel like, standing as a power play. I don't know what's up. Maybe he had a bit of a jittery leg, lots of energy. Anyway, Trump asked his buddy Elon to address the meeting first. He kicked it off. He's wearing a T-shirt, says tech support there, as they're, making these cuts that just delete parts of the federal government code. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're cutting it, but this is like bringing the move fast, break things tech philosophy to the federal government. So a reporter here asks Elon Musk about at the meeting about if any of the members of the seated cabinet next to him disapprove of Doge, and watch all of these sycophants fall in line, led by Howard Lutnick, who I'll tell you about in just a second.
President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
Elon, let the cabinet speak just for a second. Anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw him out of here.
Pause it. Okay. Let's go back 10 seconds. So Trump then prompts the whole cabinet meeting to say, hey, does anybody have a problem with this? Speak now or forever hold your peace. He looks around the room and you better not. And then he looks at Howard Lutnick, and Lutnick starts the applause, like the little toady that he is.
Clapping like a seal.
Toady's good. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I have some more to say on Lutnick, but I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, but I just want people to pay attention to Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, who's next to next to Hegseth, who's next to Trump.
Anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw him out of here.
Trump looks at him like seals.
They have a lot of respect for Elon and that he's doing this, and some disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled. So go ahead, Elon.
I'm grateful.
And President Trump has put together, I think, the best cabinet ever. Literally. So, and I do not give false praise. This is an incredible group of people.
Thank God.
I don't think that such a talented team has actually ever been assembled. I think it's literally the best cabinet that the country has ever had, and I think the company should be incredibly appreciative of the people in this room.
Great, thank you. So Howard Lutnick, who is now the Secretary of Commerce, the one who kicked off the applause for Elon, is Elon Musk's buddy. Oh my gosh, Comrade Daniel writes in, more like nut lick. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. Very correct, accurate assessment.
Lutnick is heavily involved in crypto. His firm Cantor Fitzgerald holds about $600 million worth of crypto, and they are developing a multi-billion-dollar crypto lending project starting, coincidentally, November 2024. Also in those November 2024 disclosures, it was revealed that Cantor Fitzgerald and Lutnick as the CEO, although has he even stepped down? Has he even stepped down as CEO? Because I went to their website yesterday, and he's still up as CEO. I mean, he's been the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald since the 90s. Not that they've been flouting all of these ethics.
I think Pavlovsky is current CEO.
Sorry?
I think Chris Pavlovsky is current CEO.
Okay, all right. Well, either way, he's still obviously invested in this stuff. Cantor Fitzgerald also, in their November disclosures, it was found that they hold around 78 million shares valued at $80 million in a company called Satellogic. Satellogic is in the commercial space industry. And by the way, the Department of Commerce is the agency that's supposed to set space commerce policy, as well as cryptocurrency policy, which is the directive that Biden gave to the Department of Commerce in 2022. So Lutnick has massive holdings in satellite and space commercial technology and in cryptocurrency, and kicks off the applause about Elon Musk's role in the federal government. Isn't that poetic?
He's also CEO of Rumble, and Glenn Greenwald, Rumble, who's given his sort of name and commodified it for the investors over at Rumble, it is quick to point out Lutnick is himself Jewish whenever people accuse this administration of anti-Semitism. Of course, Elon Musk did a Sig Heil.
Yeah.
There's Howard Lutnick clapping for the guy there. Absolute nut licker.
But Barry Weiss just was touting and publishing an op-ed on, by the way,
crypto-Nazi himself, Richard Hanania.
Right, defending the Nazi salute. We're at this point right now where, we've said this before, the modern Nazi, the modern far-right figure, is also a Zionist. So that includes, it's basically all of the Christian Zionists in this country, but also some Jewish Zionists as well. And that is
Or just craven businessmen. I honestly don't know what Lutnick's position on Israel is, but I will say I suspect that Russell Brand is really shy about criticizing Israel. Probably comes from the top of the company, but that's just a suspicion.
That's funny.
Hey, just to clarify, Lutnick's sons took over Cantor Fitzgerald.
Oh, the meritocracy.
Yeah,
right.
Meritocrats are in control.
Right, they're in their 20s, are they not?
Exactly. So Brandon Lutnick will be chairman, and his older brother Kyle is executive vice chairman. But it says Lutnick's sons, both in their 20s, will oversee the
Love
group.
meritocracy. And also, I'm blocked by Glenn Greenwald, so if he said anything about Elon's salute, I would be interested in being informed by that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably some free speech argument. Here at the same press conference, Trump is asked by a reporter about his view on the role of his cabinet secretaries and if they have any independence. This was his answer to that question.
Part of your mission has been to restore executive control over the executive branch. Is it your view of your authority that you have the power to call up any one of or all of the people seated at this table and issue orders that they're bound to follow?
Oh, yeah, they'll follow the orders, yes. They will.
No exceptions.
No exception. Well, let's see. Let me think. Oh, yeah. She'll have an exception. Of course, no exceptions.
Is he pointing to Pam Bondi?
Yeah, I can't.
He's pointing to Pam Bondi, I think, although it doesn't seem like that's the case. People need to start to think about the gutting of the administrative state in these terms. Trump is trying to make it easier to be authoritarian. And that's what going after the federal workforce is about. The more they get rid of the people who have designated their life to making the American public healthier or safer when they're flying, or not getting scammed by financial companies, the people who have made that their career and have foregone much more lucrative opportunities, frankly, in private industry. People who are public servants are a threat to Donald Trump, who is the anti-public servant elected to the highest office in this country, who is now openly discussing selling citizenship in the supposed land of the free to the highest bidder with gold citizenship cards worth $5 million a clip or something like that to bring over all these capitalists to this country. He is the privatization president. Public servants are of the public. And so their very existence within our agencies is a threat to his agenda of authoritarianism and of mass privatization. And that is why they're gutting the administrative state. That was the stated purpose of Project 2025, or maybe not stated, but that's what it's about. So when you hear all this talk about unelected career bureaucrats, no, it's, the NLRB person who Sam interviewed who got her master's and thought she would work on behalf of labor interests for the federal government for the rest of her life and was, making middle income, maybe upper middle class income, or someone who works at the EPA to test if there's lead in water pipes in Oklahoma or something like
Forest
that.
rangers.
I mean, for people who work for our national parks, who love the outdoors and love the wildlife in this country. These are the people that Trump is saying are a threat to you. As the richest man on earth stands beside him and his commerce secretary gleefully claps about how rich they're all going to get together. I mean, is this as naked as I'm saying, like out loud? Is this coming across to people? Because it's as clear as day.
And, I mean, this is sort of a spectacle to sort of reassert Doge authority, because it did face a bit of a hiccup over the weekend when Elon tried to do that email saying, get in touch, and particularly Kash Patel and maybe another cabinet member was like, we actually, the people beneath me are telling me that we actually have our own procedures for this sort of thing, and we'll be following those. So don't expect a response on that email, which is like, that's an important thing. And it's a shame that Kash Patel is leading it.
Don't you mean the wizard in Donald Trump's cabinet? There he is, the wizard.
It sounds like he's plotting against the king a little bit.
Oh, man. Look at this is
Also, Elon's not in that. I think we need a new update.
It's not. He's not in that, but Cash is. This is his artistic rendering of himself. Just for anybody watching on the internet, he's
nice to himself.
I'm so glad that he's heading our top federal law enforcement agency. Oh my goodness.
All we have to do is flood the zone. Every day we hit them with 3 things. They'll bite on one, and we'll get all of our stuff done. Bang, bang, bang. These guys will never be able to recover.
That's Steve Bannon spelling out the strategy. Overwhelm Americans with news so Trump can quietly push his real agenda. This is the shock doctrine in action, and it's happening right now. Trump is flooding the news cycle with executive orders so the media jumps from headline to headline while his real power grabs go unnoticed, and it's working. Go to ground.news/majority or scan this QR code to find the only source covering Trump quietly reversing a rule banning lobbyists from giving gifts or joining the government. Trump is using chaos to hide corruption in plain sight again. And unless you have Ground News, you probably missed it. That's why I've relied on my partners for years now. Their app, website, browser extension let me compare coverage from across the political spectrum, find angles my usual outlets may have missed. Because I can't track everything Trump's doing or undoing, I've also built personalized feeds to follow key issues from independent sources I trust. This way, I'm not getting sucked into the same media traps everyone else does. So if you're tired of getting lost in the chaos, get the same unlimited access Vantage plan I use for almost half the price. Just go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to subscribe for $5 a month. If you aren't controlling your news, they're controlling you. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.